They gave me a clicker. This is awesome. All right, my name is Ira. I'm excited to be here. I have two questions for you right out of the gate that I want you to think about as I go through this presentation. First, how many of you have a LinkedIn account? Now, I can't see everybody's hands up, but I bet it's the majority of the room. In fact, those of you watching online, I'll bet you have one too. The second question I want you to think about is how many people use LinkedIn in some form or capacity to make money? It's there to assist you in your revenue. Probably not as many hands up if we're being honest, but a lot of hands if you're being honest. When I joined LinkedIn back in 2009, I had no intention of being a business owner. I had no way of knowing that I was going to be laid off one day. I used LinkedIn like probably the majority of you use it in a way to network and to research, but it wasn't about generating revenue. The thing that I'm going to ask you to do today is I'm going to challenge you to think differently. Because the moment that I started to think differently, my whole world changed. The biggest obstacle that you likely face in your journey to success is yourself. At least that was the case for me. And I believe that's the case for a lot of you. We hold ourselves back. We have limiting beliefs. We think things that are true that just frankly are not. And I'm telling you, you likely have some of those beliefs that are holding you back on LinkedIn as well. We're going to get into it today. In 2018, my life changed. It had nothing to do with me getting laid off. It had nothing to do with me starting a business. It had everything to do with mindset. And I hope that today is the day that you will remember, or if you're watching this online, whenever it is that you watch it, this day today will change your future forever. My day happened in 2018. In fact, it was May of 2018. What happened? I was on LinkedIn doing some research. I watched a video from one of the people in my network. In fact, I don't know that I really knew this person before that day, but his name is Mike O'Connor. He runs a group called Service Professionals Network. Now, I didn't know the name of Service Professionals Network back then. I didn't know the name of Mike O'Connor. All I knew was there was this brash guy saying some things that I thought were outrageous, but he challenged me with what he was saying, and he put an invitation forward. He said, hey, if you're smart, call me. Now, he wasn't talking to me, he was talking to everybody in the video. But I'm like, hey, I'd like to think I'm smart. So I dialed his number on my phone, and we talked for 2.5 hours. And that day, I really learned two things. I learned I don't know much about LinkedIn, but there's more to it than what I have been using it for. The very first thing that I learned was LinkedIn works differently than every other social media platform on the planet. How? There's first level, second level, and third level connections. Those aren't just arbitrary. They actually mean something. I had no idea what they meant. If I ask you, you probably don't have any idea either. But by the time I'm done today, hopefully you will, and you'll understand the value of each, and you'll go to grow your first level, second level, and third level connections. Because it will change your life on LinkedIn, and maybe your life as a whole, and you still probably don't understand how, and that's okay. We'll get into it. The first thing I want you to understand is that size actually does matter. If I asked you right now, if I took a survey of the room, a lot of you would say, it doesn't matter how big my network is. In fact, some of you might be obstinate and go, I don't want to grow. I only want to connect with certain people. We'll get into that in a minute. But I'm going to tell you that size does matter, and here's why. It's not about being famous. It's not even about being wealthy. It's not about generating wealth. It's about visibility. Why do you post on social media? So that nobody can see it? Why post at all then? Why are you on social media? Why are you on a professional social media platform? You didn't go there because you want to live in obscurity. You want your message to be seen. And frankly, you want to see messages. See, if you go on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or any of the others, they don't work this way. You can see everything on the platform without ever doing any work. But LinkedIn doesn't work that way. Again, I'll ask you, what is the first level, second level, and third connection level there for? It's called LinkedIn for this reason. You link in to the network to be seen and to see. The largest hashtag on LinkedIn is India. 68, 69 million users, followers of the hashtag. The next one, the second one, that you probably would use more, is innovation. It comes in at 38 million. And there's a handful in the 20 millions. The one that I use the most is digital marketing. I'm in the digital media business. That's 28 million followers. Let's say you have 500 followers, 500 connections, and you're searching digital media. The results that you see are going to be what's in your first, second, and third level connections, and that's it. Now imagine you have 30,000 connections, because that's the limit. I'm going to see what's in my 30,000, first, second, and third level. I'm going to see more than you. And it isn't because I'm better, I'm funnier, I'm smarter, or anything else. It's just because I'm more connected, I'm more linked in than you are. And you don't have to be famous. You don't have to be good. Look at me. You don't have to be good looking. Humor helps, right? But I'm not famous, I'm not smart. There's a lot of smart people that are going to be on the stage today. Way smarter than me. There's people that have more money in the bank. There's people that have doctorates. It took me 18 years to graduate college. I'm really that smart. Okay? But you can do it too. So understand that there is a difference between connections and followers, which we'll get to in just a second. But the size makes a huge difference, because that's what you're going to see, and that's who's going to see you. Okay? So what is the difference between a connection and a follower? This is where the first, second, and third really comes into play. Because a lot of you have defaulted your setting to followers and not connections, and that's a mistake. You're cutting your foot off and you don't even realize it. Okay? First degree connection, Dr. Laura's in the audience. Chuck's in the audience. Chuck Coxhead. Okay? Look, I'm connected to them directly. They're my first level connections. Now let's say that Chuck and Laura are not connected directly, and I don't know that they are. They're second level connections because they're both connected to me. And people that are connected to Laura that aren't connected to me become third level connections to Chuck. You see how that works? Anything that they post can be seen by any in the first, second, and third level. Let's say there's somebody connected to that third level that's not connected to Chuck, Laura, or myself. That would be my fourth. And now I can't see their stuff. Okay? I want to see as much as possible. Why? Because information is power. Maybe there's a lead. Maybe there's a project. Maybe there's somebody that would be interested in my things. They need a new website built. They can't see what I'm doing because we're not linked in. Followers don't give you first, second, and third level power. Followers get shown some of the stuff that you put out there by the algorithm. But if you do not connect, they are limited to what the algorithm would show them in the feed. By connecting, they become a conduit. Laura is a conduit for me. Everybody in her network that's a first level is my second. Everybody that's a second to her is my third. That conduit, whether I ever engage with Laura or not, which we do, but if we didn't, she still would hold a huge value to me because she's connecting me to more of the board. There are 30,000 slots in LinkedIn. And too many people are saying, I want to only be connected to the right followers. The right followers is the wrong mindset. Remember I said I'm going to challenge you to think differently? And this probably will rub a few of you the wrong way, and that's okay. I want you to really think about this. If you have a limited resource of 30,000, and you're using 1,500 or 2,000 or 20,000, and you're not utilizing 10,000, that's like you're not playing with the full deck. So let's have a little conversation about people who irritate you, or people who might send you something that's inappropriate, or people that want to spam or pitch slap you right out of the gate. You don't have to stay connected with them. See, the 30,000 connections is not a marriage contract. I've been married for 22 years in June. We have 8 kids, as you heard about in the introduction. That's a lifetime commitment to me. okay? I'm not looking to a wife shop. And thank God my wife's not looking to husband shop because she can find someone better. But here's the thing. LinkedIn's not like that. I can connect with you today. I can drop you in 5 minutes. You send me a spam message right out of the gate, and I likely will drop you and replace you with somebody that I think is going to have a little bit more value. But when you have 28,000 open slots, you're very much mismanaging your power. You're shorting yourself from being seen and from seeing what's on the board. Again, it's about visibility here. What are you putting on LinkedIn that's a secret? Anything? This isn't Facebook. You're probably not putting, risky stuff, things of your kids. You're putting up professional information. You want it to broadcast as far as humanly possible. The right connections are everybody that's on there. I don't care where they're from. I don't care their title. I used to only connect with people that were in the San Francisco Bay Area that were something related to do with print industry, because that's what I did for 20 years. I was in the print industry. The conversation I had with Mike O'Connor changed that because I understood now the power of the first, second, and third level connections. So then I started, okay, I'm going to connect with everybody. By May, so that was May of 2018. By the end of 2018, December of 2018, I had 25,000 connections. I maxed out at 30,000 in February of 2019. 30,000 connections is the limit. That's as many as you can have. Bill Gates has more followers than anybody on LinkedIn. He only has 30,000 first level connections. Okay? You can have the same amount as Bill Gates. Now, connections, they cap at 30,000. Followers, you can have as many as will follow you. When 2019 came around and I had 30,000 connections, I had posts being seen over a week, 1 million views. In 2018, before I started to grow at 1,520 connections, I put up a post and I might get 3 views and a like. And the like was usually somebody being empathetic. Right? Now, did I get that much more interesting and that much more funny and become that much better of a content creator over the course of 7 months? No. The thing that changed is the way I was linked in, the way I was connected. Now people were seeing my things because I had utilized the platform the way it was designed to be utilized. In 2019, I went from 25,000 connections to 30,000, which is the max. I went from 25,000 followers to 100,000 followers. So I had 30,000 I had 30,000 connections and 100,000 followers. By June of 2020, I still had the 30,000 connections because that's the cap. But I had grown to 150,000 followers. Again, I'm not funny, I'm not smart, I'm not famous, I'm none of those things. I network. I was laid off. Now, as pretty much the sole provider of my family with these 8 kids, a mortgage that's crazy because I live in the LA area, and I gotta feed these kids, I was scared. Can I be honest? I was super scared. How am I gonna pay the bills? I'm not rich. I had $12,000 in the bank. That would cover my living expenses in California for about 2 months. What was I gonna do? I don't come from, a wealthy family. Because I had built the apparatus that I have. When I make posts, for example, they just changed it. You can see how many views you've had on posts over 7-day period, a month period, a year period. I had 7.5 million views on my posts over the last year. That's a lot. That's a lot. There's companies out there, as it turns out, that want to be seen. They want to increase their visibility. So by listening to my audience, which we'll get into in a second for you, I was able to create this business that didn't cost any money, that really just required me posting on social media, and I was able to pay my bills. Not only was I able to pay my bills, I actually make more money now than I've ever made in my life. And I'm so thankful. It's an insurance plan. Now, you may say, Ira, I don't ever want to be a business owner. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. It's okay. What do you want to do? Because I guarantee you, whatever you want to do on social media, having more views, getting more engagement, increasing your visibility, it'll help you. You want investors? You want readers? You want to get your thoughts out there? What is it that you're trying to do? Find clients? It's an insurance plan I didn't know I needed, but it's one I'm so thankful that I built. The number one thing that people need to learn with social media, and frankly with communication as a whole, and I learned this in the sales process, is that your audience has challenges and interests that are outside of you. You know what you're trying to do, and you know what you want to accomplish, and so do they. Most people take the wrong approach on LinkedIn. They're telling people about what they do and what they need instead of asking questions to find out. Hey Chuck, what are you interested in? Hey Chuck, what challenges do you face? And then trying to figure out a way that they can help to resolve it. But if you get into the point of view of how can I help my audience, they will become much more interested in you. I promise you, it's a very successful mental switch. But you have to go from being self-centered and self-driven to being a service provider in your mind. How can you help your audience? Some strategy tips that will help you build your LinkedIn, and I got 2.5 minutes, so I'm going to go fast. Okay? First of all, no spam. What is spam? Spam is the information that you're interested in that they're not. Why are they not interested in it? Because you haven't given them a reason to care about you yet. You haven't shown them that you are interested in them. You're only interested in yourself. I guarantee you every one of us in our email inbox has 50 unread, unwanted messages from people we've never met. Right? They found us on LinkedIn or wherever they found us, and they sent us how they're going to save our company and make us rich. We're not going to read it. We're going to delete it, just like they're going to delete the crap that you send them. But you don't see it as crap because you know how valuable it is. But the problem is you haven't created a relationship yet. You need to get them to know who you are, to like you, and to trust you. You're going to do that not by making a bunch of statements. You're going to ask questions. Okay? The algorithm, every one of you has a different algorithm on LinkedIn. You need to understand what the algorithm, your algorithm, likes and what it doesn't like. And you need to stop doing the things it doesn't like so that you can be seen more. Comment a lot. I'm running out of time, so I have to go fast. But stop making so many statements and posts. Get into people's comments and comment. Tag people that invites them to the party. Use creator mode. That intro feature is important. Company pages, I'm going to skip. I'm going to say this. Social media is social. So treat people like people, not as prospects. And that'll help you win. Thank you so much.